for tuning in to another episode of the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show, number
15.
15.
15.
Wow. At our normal place here, the Mecca.
Metroflex Gym, Josh Barnett's gym. You guys do get an opportunity. Come on down. You can work out for free. Tonight's guest, we have Arizona's own.
A name synonymous with Arizona bodybuilding.
Joe Valdez. PT by Joe. Joe, come on in, buddy.
How's it going, man?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Good to see you.
Mike.
Yeah.
So,
So, man,
welcome
it's been a little while since we were backstage, and I'm wandering around upstairs, and I'm like, why is Joe and I the only two guys upstairs? And you kind of set me straight at that show. I appreciate that. I guess men aren't allowed upstairs, but Joe is. You have your own room up there. What's up with that?
It's supposed to be our own room. It's really not. We get kind of lucky about it.
Yeah? So you don't have your own room?
We don't have our own. For the record,
For the
clarification,
record,
for the clear record,
Joe
we
does
do
not
not
get
have
special
our own
privileges.
Exactly, we don't have our own room.
Oh, there goes Joe's client list.
So, first come, first serve is how we do it.
So you get there early and you claim the room.
That's it.
We have a huge team.
On occasion.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, when I say a name synonymous with bodybuilding, I mean, really, how do you get all these clients? It's pretty interesting. You told us a little bit about it earlier.
I've been in the industry, in the bartending industry, for about 8 years as a door guy. I started training a lot of the servers, bartenders, and the cocktail owners, and even the door guys. But that's how it all started.
Really?
Yeah, it started all out at LA Fitness. It was one of those things. Hey, come and train with me and check it out, and then it just kind of grew from there.
Wow.
Well, and since we're talking about, we're talking about your team and stuff, you have your own location now, and you have your own studio. Is that what's going on with yourself now?
It's a 2,000 square foot personal training studio, home posing room, our lights set up, full video, front and rear mirrors, every angle you could possibly think of is there.
So it's
And
awesome.
you do it all. You get on your team. You're doing all the nutrition plan, posing clinics. I mean, it's the whole package with you, right?
It's inclusive. It's
Okay.
like stepping onto a vacation. You got everything.
Good.
Well, and since we're still talking about that too, guys, how can someone get a hold of you, Joe, if they want to?
You can reach
come
us on the
aboard?
website at www.comptbyjoe.com, or you can call me 480-593-3636, or if you want to
Check out the shirt.
Check out the shirt.
We gotta get one of those.
I guess you guys
on the show.
It's a tradition.
So,
So you're a former competitor. In case you guys don't know, Joe's been around a long time. Are you going to get back on stage, or are you living vicariously through your clients these days?
right now I'm living vicariously through all my clients. I mean, the cool thing is there's a plan there.
Yeah.
So steady at 240 right now, seeing where it goes, and just seeing my body can handle the weight.
Sure.
Being a short guy that I am. So,
No, you
That's
look
good.
You do. You look good, man.
So I'm trying to get back into it, but
When was the last time you were on stage?
it was 2 years ago with my wife in California, Tournament of Champions.
Oh, wow.
Joe's wife is our camera lady today, so thank you very much. We
And
appreciate it.
check out the steady hand we got today. Maybe we'll hire her.
Hey, she's available. She's all yours. So yeah, it was Tournament of Champions.
So what weight class were you in? Middleweight?
I was
light
actually
heavyweight?
I was a light heavyweight
Light
in
heavy.
California.
Ready?
I did all 3 classes. I did the Open, I did the Novice class, and I also did the Masters.
Oh, wow.
It was brutal.
Something you won't do again?
No, that is tiring. I did that my first show. I was in 3 classes. Yeah,
It was great stage time, but I was pooped. Come the Open class.
Right.
Find out that it was the last class they put all the Masters first.
Yeah.
It's like, really? It's like, geez, give the old guys first. It should be the other way around.
Right.
So, but it was a good experience to come back.
So, being in the fitness, I'm sorry, Mike.
Go ahead, bud.
But, being in the fitness industry, obviously. I always like to ask the question, as a kid, what was it that got you into the fitness lifestyle and into bodybuilding? What springboarded you into competitive bodybuilding? Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger? Who was it? What was it?
The pumping iron.
Pumping iron.
Pumping
See
iron.
Arnold.
It's always
comes
Arnold.
back.
It's-
backdrop of everybody.
Watching Pumping Iron, I was like, man, I gotta do this. This was cool. We're getting my first book, the Bodybuilding Encyclopedia.
Of course.
I was like, oh man, this thing is awesome.
It is.
So
And-
funny.
Yeah.
Everybody has the encyclopedia.
Yeah,
I have the
that one.
hardcover.
Did you?
I have the hardcover.
Remember the Bill Pearl Getting Stronger? one?
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one too. That one started me before I got into Arnold. But so was Arnold Schwarzenegger. You kind of wanted to look like him one day.
It wasn't Arnold, it was Luke.
Where's Lou?
Bigger is better. That's what it is.
Of course.
He got better with age. So now we're masters now.
I know.
So you look at him when he competed against Arnold, and you look at him 10 years later. The guy was a beast.
Yeah, he was
at an over age.
300 pounder.
Curling 100
So how many people do you have on your training team now?
Right now, getting ready for the November show, we're sitting at 13.
13.
Wow.
And do you max out? I know there's certain trainers, they get to 20. And
You know,
it's like, I can't handle it. Or you said like you have a great support system where if you get more people, you can kind of maybe have your wife help out or.
we're ready. We have a bunch of coaches that work with
Okay.
us, so we have a great support system. You know, there is really no cap.
Right, and I think that that's probably like, the biggest concern, at least for me when I'm out looking for a coach or something, is I'm attention. I want all the attention. You know what I mean? And so how do you stretch that out? I think that's something that I'm interested in knowing. I mean, I couldn't deal with 13 different people. You know what I mean? Because it's difficult. I mean, you're talking about 13 different personalities all going up and down. So
I get asked that question a lot. The biggest thing is the support system. I have my wife who's a bikini competitor. She helps out a lot. I have Melissa Rex, so she's a bodybuilder and she's also done physique, so she helps out with that. And then I have Diana Stanback, who's an athlete pro.
So you got a good team around you too.
Good quality people. And then I also have a lot of the IFU pros come down that are friends of mine, help out with posing every once in a while. So people understand and see that.
Sure.
So
Buddy, I have a funny question for you. Did I cut you off? I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead.
Otherwise, I'll forget what I'm going to say.
Say it.
So, I've had some of the same girls in the same class. How do you handle that? Because, you want to root for them both, but I mean, that must be tough for you being the coach and having 3 girls in the same class. How do you handle that?
The best thing about that is they know each other before they step on stage. So they build that camaraderie, just like in the old days. You help each other out.
Right.
I always tell everybody, it's you guys versus everybody else.
Sure.
Never against each other. Where they fall out, as long as they look their best, is the best thing.
Sure.
And that kind of solves all the issues because they go up there together, they feel more comfortable, and they're not thinking about competing against each other.
Right.
And doing their best.
Good answer.
And you guys, you and your wife kind of have an interesting story in terms of she's a competitor, correct?
Yes.
How does that whole mix go? I mean, because being, in my past with previous relationships, it's always been some sort of a strain when I'm dieting and somebody else isn't, and so it's just interesting to me. He's like, oh,
It's not a strain.
why'd you bring that up?
No, she's awesome. When she's doing it, I try not to eat as much bad food in front of her.
Sure.
What a nice guy.
I try.
Sure.
And being that I'm a trainer and her coach also, it's a lot easier. The strain is not working with that, it's the questions.
Right.
You're a 24-hour support system, literally, not by phone, but face to face.
Right.
You go home, you go to work, you come back, and it's the same question.
Right.
Whatever it is, no matter what.
Right.
So and you get to get constant feedback, and you're always looking at it. And sometimes that's about the only thing that can be wearing.
Sure.
But other than that, it's great because you actually see the progress.
Right.
Well, it's a small community we have here in Arizona, bodybuilding, and we all kind of know each other. You have Scott over STS, Randy Blocker, Joe Valdez. I had a small training team at one time, and we probably exchanged clients here and there. But one thing I want to tell everybody is that this guy knows when it comes to nutrition and getting dialed in for a show. I mean, I've seen your nutrition plans, and they're great. I mean, you know what you're doing, man. So I want to just let everybody know that this guy's no joke, man. Look at his clients. Proof is in the pudding there.
That's
So,
true, and you have quite a few that follow you at every single show, and so that's something to be said. Obviously you're doing something right. Obviously you're doing some things right because you also have something else going in the works on Flagstaff, right?
Yeah, I just got commissioned to hold my own NPC show.
Awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you. So
That's cool.
that's the big step here.
So Miles Niesel, our NPC chairman, sanctioned you a show, and that's going to be up in Flagstaff,
yes.
right?
So I got the Flagstaff territory. It's going to be next year.
And then,
Cool.
so if that goes on successfully for 3 years, does that become a national qualifying show?
Yes, as far as I know, it will be. The details for the qualifying hasn't been discussed yet. It's just a matter of how he wants to go.
Sure.
And is this kind of are you kind of moving into maybe wanting to get more into promoting bodybuilding shows, maybe outside of the state of Arizona, or maybe growing more here in our state?
What I want to do is I want to bring our state together. I mean, there's so many.
I love it, dude. That's why we have this show.
Why we have this show.
This is what the show is about.
It is.
The cool, like everyone keeps talking about, how are judging this, how are judging that. Well, I want to bring in a new breed to okay, our format's going to be based off California, the NPC rules. And I want to do something so when people come to my show, it's different than Miles, so it's not all the same.
Yeah.
And that's what makes variety.
Well, and I think that you hit it on the head. It's variety, and it's a different perspective, and it's somebody bringing something else to the table. That's a great idea. we'll do whatever we can to get your show when that time comes to promote it and get some people up there. Because I
That's
mean,
2014.
Yes.
cool. Congratulations.
Arizona has 6 NPC shows now, so we're growing.
Right.
According to 2014.
Right. And I think that you probably have to agree, and you probably see this on the same scale that we do, how our state is growing, and we need to collectively bring it together. And I mean, and continue to make this thing grow from the amateur ranks right to, and like Stryker said, if we have a pro show here, we should never not sell that out. If we have an amateur show here, whether in Flagstaff or here, we should never not sell that show out. I mean, that's our responsibility as a community to make sure that these shows can continue to grow, because it's your first or your second year that's going to be the biggest point where this thing keeps going, you know. So
The cool thing about it is Joe's not, getting a show because he wants to make money. He's doing it because he wants to give back to the sport, and he loves the sport, and he knows he can give back and bring something cool. I can't wait to see what you do.
There's a lot of cool things. I want to bring everyone together.
I want a best posing routine award.
We got some
most
cool
muscular
things.
award. Because if you don't, maybe if you didn't win the overall, hey, I got the most muscular.
We got a lot of cool sponsors.
DJ's comment box going.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've seen your nutrition plans. Back to the training and nutrition. I gotta ask, and I want the people to know. And this is a question I ask on every show. Mike, what am I about to ask?
Just feel free, go ahead. I already know what it's going to be.
So what emphasis do you put on, what percentage do you put on when it comes to training and nutrition? Is it 50-50? Is it 70-30? It's all across the board. We've had 15 guests on our show. Everybody says something different. From a guru like yourself.
I'm not a guru.
You're a guru. I'm not a guru. The track record speaks for itself. He's a humble man here.
No guru status. It's a little bit of everything. There is no percentage. I always base it on before and after, not just during the show. You don't want to work 12 weeks, 16 weeks for one day and then lose it all in 3 weeks. It's a percentage based on how you want to continue afterward and continue to be in that shape that you put the hard work in. 5 to 10 pounds contest weight, give or take, depending on what your goals are afterward. And I let training dictate the nutrition to the point to where you don't lose your sanity.
Sure.
The biggest problem that we have, that I see as a trainer, is everybody starves clients. You come in, and if you ask anybody, would you do a bodybuilding show? 50% would say yes, 50% would say hell no, I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
That's a terrible ratio for a sport.
2 hours of cardio, 800 whatever calories, and then wonder why they build, what do they call it? Called something, I'll think of it in a second. But go ahead.
And metabolic damage there?
Metabolic damage. Adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, when your body actually makes more fat cells. Normally it doesn't happen, but if you eat all that food after your show, your body makes more fat cells.
It's a combination. It's more like they say it's a lifestyle.
Right.
You gear somebody going into it to prepare for the show to be their best, but you also can't forget about it after.
Well, and I think that's one of the valid
I think
points.
that's a lot. I think that's a lot. I think a lot of trainers lose that.
And I think especially with women, because I see that rebound effect with the guys. It's like, let's get bigger.
Bigger is better.
It's not a big issue.
But with the women, it's a huge deal. And see, and that's where I struggle with helping somebody out, and all of a sudden they want to do a show based off of wanting to get weight off of them, and then what do you do after the show? And that's exactly what I mean. That rebound effect afterwards is really where you have to be the best coach, and that's obviously what he's doing, because you're continuing to grow. But you're right, it's right after that show when you see women at their worst, because they're just, what happened?
To keep somebody that way in that type of shape afterwards, especially a female, your clientele base grows.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing.
Right.
So just because you got a trophy in my eyes doesn't mean that they're going to come back again, because it's the next 3 months that their friends see them. Oh wow, you look great still. That's the biggest.
So it's not it's 10 out of 10 things. It's 100% of every category.
Every category. You got to put your effort into everything.
That's becoming more and more of an opinion. It's 100% nutrition. It's 100% training.
Rusty said the same thing. Mike Morris said 50-50, which is almost the same as saying 100-100. So.
Well, we always like to ask people. There's probably a million people that you could think about to this point. But who are some of the people in your immediate life? I mean, obviously you can't do this alone, and you've said a few people as far as your training goes. But yeah, who is it that helps you out, Joe?
The biggest person is my wife.
Sure.
I want to say thank you to her, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her support.
Sure.
She is the rock, bottom line. she's the one that has to hear me bitch every time I come home. At the end of the day, it's like, God, you know, but yeah, it's because of her.
That's awesome.
And also, you know, the people in the community, you know, all the bodybuilders, you guys, you know, it's a community in Arizona that we help each other.
Right.
And that's the best part about this. And if we can make that grow, it's everyone that helps out.
You're right.
And you know, I don't care who you're from, what team it is, I will help you out. If you're at the show by yourself, I will help you. It doesn't matter. You know, all within the guidelines of respecting the person you're training with,
Sure.
or doing it, I will have no problem helping you.
No, and that's no joke. I like Joe, and I like Andy, you, and he's like, I got her. And yeah, I mean,
So-
you're a generous man. So
Yeah, we gotta make our sport grow. That's the one thing that, you know, we have going for us.
Right. Well, and collectively, as doing things like this and opening up these platforms and creating new shows, it's happening, and we're seeing it happen right in front of us. It's crazy, and people are it's starting to catch on. And so, you know, we appreciate you coming out. We appreciate you giving you the time. And if you guys do want to get a hold of Joe, you know, get a hold of him on his website, phone number, then message him on Facebook. You know,
and what's the name of your
Yes,
studio called?
it's Team PT by Joe, /Facebook, and you can find me out there. Just look for Joe Valdez. You can't see it.
Awesome.
Awesome, dude.
Well, dude, awesome to have you on the
Thank you,
show.
man.
Awesome
Joe,
is
we
the word of
appreciate
the
it,
day.
bro. Thanks for coming out, man.
Episode 15. I want to thank Peoria Ford, one of our sponsors.
Peoria Ford, thank you very much. Mike and V, we're out. Joe
Joe
Valdez.
Valdez, we're out.